Rita has over 20 years' experience in the environmental field. So, take it away.
Okay, shall I begin? Okay, well, as Mike mentioned, we do have 5 DOE Oversight Bureau AirNet stations. And these stations are designed to collect data that we can compare with LANL's data to assure that their data is in the same ballpark, that there's not some deviation from reality from an independent source that's not the lab itself. And what we did during the fire was we continued to run our 5 stations, which are all co-located stations, and they're located at various areas on the perimeter of LANL, so they're all very close to LANL. They're not at the contaminated sites, so we're not picking up the legacy waste in the air. We had to change the filters on a daily basis during the fire because of the clogging issue that was mentioned. So we ran our stations in a normal manner with the exception of removing the filters daily. There was a discussion of trying to get the filters analyzed daily so we would have a daily result for each of our 5 locations, but there wasn't enough material, and we wanted to keep the same detection levels we have in our normal sampling, so we ended up having 2 sample sets. One between was collected between June 21st and July 1st, and the second started on July 1st and ended on July 7th. So we've got essentially 10 samples. And we did our normal radiologicals that we do in our routine program. And our purpose, again, is to verify that LANL's sampling program is working correctly. Now, we have uploaded those into RACER, and RACER does have a comparison tool for co-located stations. So you can pick a station, pick an analyte, and see LANL's data and our data side by side. But when you do the comparison, there's an important feature you need to be aware of. We don't blank correct our data, and so it tends to be higher, and for some radionuclides the difference is greater than for others. And there's a note in the RACER database that mentions this, but it's not intuitively obvious when you're looking at 2 numbers side by side. So the numbers are not going to be directly comparable. What we did find in our data was elevated uranium. We found, and this is a casual basis, this is not a statistical analysis. We found elevated gross beta. We didn't find elevated gross alpha, which we expected to find, and we need to investigate that. And we got many data points just outside of the range of our normal data set, outside of the high range of our normal data set. When that happens, we investigate the reasons why. And in many of the cases for the data we've published, we may find that the reason why is that the blank correction factor is more important when the air volume is smaller. And the air volume for these samples, because they were clogging because of the smoke, is about 1/10 of our normal, about 1/10 of our normal air volume. So we're going to have to do some further analysis of the data. But in general, it verifies and it tracks with both LANL's current data, with our data collected during the Cerro Grande fire, and our data collected during the Cerro Grande fire. So I would say that on the first look, it verifies that LANL's data is certainly in the proper range.